Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ron, and today we're going to be going on this week's Elite Deep Dive. For this, I'm not going to be bringing in any Overclocks, and we're going to be trying to complete this with my Scout. This will be kind of another how to complete an Elite Deep Dive without Overclocks. We already did this with Gunner, so I figured Scout would be up next. For this, I'm going to be taking my Drac Plasma Carbine, and I'm going to be taking the Bolt Shark. On the Drac, this is how I run my standard Drac, so I'm going with extra cooling in Tier 1, more ammo in Tier 2, faster cooling in Tier 3, electric rounds in Tier 4, and then higher rate of fire, at least once we get heated up, in Tier 5. Pretty straightforward. This is going to be our crowd control weapon. We're going to be trying to use this just to kill basically anything that's small, and we can even harass things that are big, but mostly for big stuff, we're going to be using our crossbow. You could also take this with like the boomstick. Boomstick's really good for harassing big things. You could also take it with the Zukovs, because Zukovs can do a lot of damage with this build too, since we have so much electricity. But this time we're bringing the crossbow. I'm bringing electric bolts. This is to potentially incapacitate big things so that we can hit them a little bit easier. Extra ammo because it's just a nice quality of life. Faster reload speed, more movement speed when we kill something, and then more damage on that electricity. For a grenade, I'm going to be taking the IFGs. This is just so that we get even more damage onto enemies, as well as we get a potential slowdown. I'm a big fan of the IFGs, but any of them would work. I'm going to be kind of running my standard Scout perks, at least for solo, where I'm going to be running Resupplier and Thorns. These ones I take on basically everybody. They're just very nice quality of life perks in general. Thorns makes it so I don't have to worry about little things biting at me. Then Resupplier, just to get resupplies back faster. Gets us more health too, so we stay healthy longer. Very useful. And then Unstoppable. This combined with the grappling hook, at least if you have it built for momentum, is basically like having dash for Scout, which is pretty nice. It's my favorite perk, and you really don't need it as an active perk on Scout. So when you can just make it kind of a passive, I find it pretty good. For active perks, I'm running Berserker. This is just to get us more damage per second if we need to kill big things. And then Heightened Senses so we don't get grabbed by leeches. A great thing to have on Scout. Aside from that, you can kind of build your pickaxe however you'd like. I usually build it with power attacks and better weight balance, so I can use the power attacks more often. Flare gun, I'm running full duration flares, but you can run ammo flares. You can run a mix of flares. They're all pretty good. It's just your call. Armor is one of the big ones that I would suggest building first up, just in general, in Deep Rock, because you do get extra health for every so many upgrades. That's pretty important. The way that I'm building this is the same way I build my regular armor. So I got bigger mineral bag, but any of them are fine in Tier 1. Pick whichever one you like the most. I like the more materials overall. I take healthy because it lets you take a few more hits than shields. Shields can be great if you're not letting them break, but on higher difficulty missions, that's kind of difficult, where a lot of enemies can just break your shield with one hit, and then I find health to be a bit more useful. Shock absorbers because it's our only option, and then breathing room. Breathing room is definitely the best option here, at least in my opinion, because Shockwave doesn't get you that much damage to make it really noticeable unless it's against like swarmers or jellyfish or something, and then it's kind of nice. Static Discharge just isn't that great either. It applies electricity to enemies, and that's it. So a little bit of slowdown and a little bit of damage over time. Breathing Room really helps you out. It gives you double the amount of time to be able to get to resupplies, be able to get extra health, be able to get out of bad situations when you go down. Gives you 6 seconds to where you don't have to worry about that. And if you combine it with something like Resupplier, then you have plenty of time to get a resupply if you are dying. Be sure to get your beer of the day. Mine is Slayer Stout, so we're going to have even faster power attacks. Slayer Stout is, well, just like all the beers, is kind of bugged right now and gives you bonus effects. So with better weight balance on our pickaxe, we actually have something like a 5-second cooldown on our power attack, so we're going to be using that pretty often. I'll probably end up accidentally using Berserker by doing that too, since that's how you trigger Berserker, but that's okay. Shouldn't really matter. That will be like our main value source, at least not using our ammo. It looks like we've got a Point Extract mission with a Dreadnought mission, I want to say. And Parasites? Oh, Rival Presence. Okay, well. Let's immediately start out by putting our flares up and trying not to get shot to death. That's going to be important. Alright. Yeah. Main thing you want to do as Scout is constantly make use of your high mobility. Okay, this doesn't really matter if we get grabbed or not because we have heightened senses. Yep. Alright. Now, let's kill what we can. Again, it's kind of great that we don't have to fight the turrets right away, so what I'm just going to be doing here is using my grappling hook pretty frequently. Oh, whoops, that's right. Magnetic shafts. Drag to take out basically everything else. Remember to throw in power attacks whenever you can. Alright, that's kind of a rough start. Okay, magnetic shafts also kind of helps us here because if enemies are being electrocuted by either my Drac or by Bosco, I don't have to be super accurate with this. I wasn't even paying attention to the spitballer back there. Nope. Got plenty of them coming down. Didn't notice those ones. Again, we're just going to keep moving around here. It's always best if you can set up kind of a safe zone ahead of time. Usually the first thing you want to do, especially as Scout, is look for Nitra. Because you are so good at getting Nitra so quickly. That can be kind of difficult, but if you can do it, that's awesome. I'm for the most part just ignoring the turrets right now. You don't have to worry about them. The drone controller is right there, so if we can get rid of this stuff, we'll be okay. I think magnetic shafts actually grabbed my bolt, or yeah, grabbed the bolt there and threw it the other way. Okay, well, we got a swarm. Again, we're gonna try to just get rid of the burst turrets as much as possible. They're kind of an issue. There we go. That should get rid of that one, honestly. Grab what we can. Got the golden loot bug for good luck. Alright, it looks like we're actually pretty safe right here. So, once we have the time, we don't really have the time at the moment. Use our IFG to get a little bit more damage out of this. Also remember that pressers take extra melee damage too. Yeah. And try to avoid getting shot as much as possible. Ow! I'm not doing a very good job of it. Hopefully the Frost Praetorian leaves us alone for a second. Okay, that's fine. He's just blowing ice at us. Which right now the Frost Praetorians are bugged. And don't actually spit ice. I don't know why. They've been bugged for the longest time. Oh yeah, our little loot bug buddy came back. Hey, buddy. How's it going, little guy? So adorable. Alright, well, once we got rid of all the turrets and everything, things have settled down quite a lot. No, I haven't got another swarm. Alright, well, hey, my Berserker's back up. Nearly out of bullets, though. Which might be a little bit of an issue. Potentially. We'll have to wait and see. Alright, let's grab this, put that away.
I'm wondering if fighting bugs and moving dirt is the best way to make a living.
Do what we can with what we got, I guess. Alright, let me call in one of these right here. Again, as Scout, you want to be moving around pretty often. You really want to make good use of your mobility. Crossbow with the various bolts is pretty nice. Electric bolts, you actually don't really need to hit anything. You just kind of toss them there. And the Drac is fairly forgiving. Toss a couple of those out. And I keep getting that extra movement speed from the crossbow. Right. We can also use our Berserk. I find it really useful to just stand in the center of your IFG until things start getting too close if you want to be using like power attacks and stuff. I find that to be pretty useful. Our little loot bug buddy just keeps following us. Good job, little guy. Maybe he's trying to get all this nitro now that we knocked down. There's still more bugs here. There's still more nitro here too. Alright. Don't worry, little guy. I'll be back. Bosco's also mining us out some more quarks. I'm so far halfway done. Probably haven't shown a whole lot and probably skipped ahead. Because there just hasn't been a whole lot to do except for have Bosco go and get stuff. I think he's probably following us. I was gonna say. Oh, we have another swarm already? Dang. Alright. Well, at least they give you a lot of nitro on this mission, which is great. Because I imagine in multiplayer, you would have already wanted to have like 2 resupplies called down. Also the worst time to get an ice storm. Oh well. We are scouts, so mobility is still not a huge issue. Even throughout the storm. It's not great, but down, Bosco. Alright, once again, we're just going to keep moving around, doing scout things. I do have Berserk, but I'm kind of low on HP, so it might not be best to do that. Whoops.
Inhibitor field up.
Okay.
So
Well,
it didn't hit anything.
we got most of them over there, so we can come over here and grab what we need. Resupplier gives us way more than enough time to actually get this without being in any major danger. Okay, well, looks like I've kind of finally caught up on just murdering everything, so let's be on our way and have Bosco get what we can. We still need a lot more Aquarics, and I haven't found too many of them yet. If it gets this bad, you're going to want to just be trying to get stuff when you can. Of course, killing things quick is
I need you here.
useful, but... Alright. I assume that was a decent place where Bosco dropped that off. And this is a good place to fight, because they can't easily get to us. And we can easily get away from here. If you're playing the other classes, maybe not. But, good thing we're not. Good thing we're playing Scout. Here we do another IFG. Do Berserk mode. Save some ammo. Get some extra damage per second out of this. Okay, grab this while we can. Avoid the swarmer drones. You can also get a little bit of bonus movement speed from momentum again if you're running down on your grappling hook. You don't really need it, but... Alright. Bosco's got our last one, which is very handy. We're just gonna stay back, get rid of the swarmers, shredders, sorry.
Come here, you blood. I'm out of here.
And grab that. And we're good to go. Alright, once again, I'm just gonna rotate around, because there's so much stuff right there. And I don't really feel like dying right now.
Slowing down traffic.
Slow everything down. Run over there. Hit the button. We'll be on our way. Now we just gotta survive with what we got, which we still have plenty of shots, so. Plus we're playing Scout. You don't really need to fight all that much as Scout. At least in a situation like this. You're not locked in place like you are with maybe Gunner or Driller or something. But then, you know, with those classes you have extremely great crowd control. Scout can, to some extent, but this is a bit too much for us at the moment. So, know when to reposition. That's pretty much the name of the game as Scout. Just keep repositioning when you can. And just keep making it difficult for things to kill you. Because you're already pretty difficult to kill just with your high mobility. I don't remember if this was the closed off area or not. It doesn't really matter for us. This might actually be where the drop pod lands for all I know.
Lights up.
I wish there wasn't so many jellyfish now. Jellyfish are just not really great for us. There's a lot of everything here. Alright. Just keep on running then. Get some more nitro too along the way. Oh, it is over there. I called it. Oh. Okay. Yep. It is up in here. How convenient for us, I guess. We already got all the bugs away from here.
Take off.
Alright. Okay, if I can just find the... There we go.
Rock and stone in the heart.
Down to the next level. That one's a tough one. I'm not gonna lie, that one's a real tough one. It might have been quicker to do with some other classes. I think Driller could have done it fairly fast because you could probably burrow right underneath the turret controller right at the start. Hack that. And then you're pretty great at crowd control, so you're also really good at getting the quarks. But that is one of the toughest early missions. Now we got low gravity with elite threat, more kite mission with eggs. Okay, well since we have 2 eggs, we know that there's going to be 1 horde from that. Elite threat is potentially pretty scary. It depends on what we're getting. If we get elite spitters, it's pretty scary. If you get elite grabbers, it can be really scary, especially without heightened senses. If you do have heightened senses though, it will kill them. It doesn't matter that they're an elite unit. If you wanted to have more of an advantage going into the deep dives, be sure to check out ahead of time what is in them. You can usually find that by usually just asking around or looking around, like the Deep Rock official Discord. Almost always has somebody that's posted what the deep dive this week contains. I usually go in completely blind, which is not always the best. Alright, well that is our horde egg. So we're going to stay around here. Whenever you get a horde, it's always better to stay in a position that you're a little bit more comfortable with than like running ahead. If you run ahead, you don't know what might be ahead. You might get grabbed by leeches, you might run into more spawners, you might just run into a big group of bugs that are sitting around. Oh yeah, and we got elites here, so... Oh, mixed in with all the jellyfish. So much fun. Alright. So, get rid of the jellyfish when we can. Keep just using the track when we can as well. We're going to put in some electro bolts here. Set up ourselves a little bit of a perimeter. That'll help deal some extra damage. Plus it'll be nice for just slowing things down. You put 2 electric bolts on something, it slows down to a crawl. Okay. We are out of ammo. That's not good. Okay, well, at least we have low gravity though, so we can usually just kind of hop around here. Alright, looks like we found our other egg. We also found some other bugs. Let's clear up the bugs before we crack the egg open. And make sure that we don't get blown up. Oh, I got a swarm too. Okay. More of a reason to not crack the egg open right away. Get the warden out of the way really quick. Crossbow's pretty good for just picking off regular things too. So that's mostly what I'm going to be using it for. Okay. Got rid of all the regular stuff. Now we just got to deal with the incoming swarm. Oh, whoop. Magnetic shaft is making this a little bit more difficult. I do appreciate that, Bosco, but... We're gonna put some electricity on there. And it almost looks like we made it even stronger. Oh. We are going to be frozen here in a second, too. Let's get rid of the exploders. Oh. Oh, no, we're going to go down from the... Oh, wait, nope. Never mind. We bounced across the Praetorian. That was extremely lucky. Thank you, Bosco. Grab some red sugar. Away we go. Some more Morkite. Well, we're waiting for our impending doom. Or their impending doom. I forget how it's supposed to go. Either way, we're gonna keep trying to loop around and get the most use out of this IFG. And get more damage on everything. Okay. Looks like that's mostly taken care of then. Well, that was almost really bad with us getting frozen there. The rest of it wasn't too bad, I guess. Remember to keep flares up too for your team. It's useful for you just solo, but it's even more useful with the team. Alright, let's get out of here. We're just gonna send this right away. Since we're playing Scout, we can easily get around all this. If we were playing other classes like Gunner or Driller, it might be best to hang out here for a little bit. We also still have plenty of Nitra, so I wasn't too concerned about getting Nitra this time around. Mostly because I had hoarded so much of it from the first stage. However, if you're just like trying to get the weapon and the blank matrix, you might want to just try to get through the first wave as fast as possible, or the first stage as fast as possible, and then just try to stack up as much Nitra as you can this level. That way you're more guaranteed to actually, you know, get through this to the next stage, to the final stage. This week's been kind of tough, not gonna lie. This week is kind of tough. I think it might be easiest with Driller, at least so far from what I've seen. You can potentially drill underneath the robots in the first stage, get rid of the turrets real quick, drill up all the quarks really fast, and then in this one, just drill right to the exit. Alright, 4 eggs, black box, but with no modifiers. Elite Deep Dives are guaranteed to have at least 2 negative modifiers on 2 of the stages, but can have 3. So, I guess it's kind of lucky that we didn't get any negative modifiers on this last one. And this last one's pretty straightforward. With 4 eggs as the primary, we're also going to have 1 swarm guaranteed. It's kind of weird how the eggs are set up. With 4 it's 1, with 6 it's 2, with 8 it's 3, but if it's a secondary of 2, then it's 1 guaranteed regardless. Alright, black box right away. Let's set this right up. Might as well. I don't think anything's going to be able to spawn beyond that dirt wall, so probably don't clear it right away. I think everything else is going to spawn in this room and probably on the opposite side of this room that we're looking at right now. So I'm betting over there. Again, make sure you set up flares, that way everybody can see what's going on. Make it a little bit easier for everybody. Okay, staying out of that because I don't want to get blown up. Try to stay in this as much as possible, and there's also no reason for you to be going outside of it a lot of the time. Unless there is something like an exploder. I think he was coming down the wall. I don't think he actually spawned directly behind us. IFGs inside here can also help. It slows him down. If you have a gunner with shields, that's going to help a lot. Spitters, get rid of the exploders, definitely get rid of slashers, anything that's real scary. Try to just clear this up as fast as possible. I usually don't even care how much ammunition I'm using up through here. Most of the time it's still worth it. Okay, just gonna keep maneuvering in here. There we go. Alright. That did get kind of rough there at the end. Especially because we had a splasher in the middle there that I couldn't really see. And we had a acid spitter just throwing stuff at us. Up the crossbow. Crossbow's not really the best for like those hold the point areas unless you got maybe bodkin points in it or trifork or something. That's why I was mostly just using the primary there. It would have been better also if we had like pheromone bolts in there. That first starting room is going to be a great place for us to fall back to, especially with how much crazy stuff is here. All the exploders and things. Let's get rid of the spitballers here. Good thing we didn't jump down here right away. One thing you want to avoid doing as Scout, don't get overexcited and try to run too far ahead.
Go fetch.
Alright.
I need a damn
sit right
mine
here.
on legs. Where is
Bosco's
it?
getting that for us. That's might be our egg. No, that's not it either. Alright. Last one's our horde egg. Okay. Keep on moving this way. Get rid of what we can. Ooh, think they'd actually be showing up that way. We'll go back up to our resupply. We'll call Molly up there. I need more ammo anyway. And then we'll fight our final horde. The eggs aren't always in this order as to like when you would get a swarm either. It's just random. So don't just go in the order that I did. Think that you're gonna get the swarm on the last egg or something, because that might not be true. It could be true, but it might not be true. Now we'll just kind of fight what we got in here. Thanks, Pusco. Just getting rid of those. And throwing power attacks whenever we can. Power attacks are basically a free kill, or at the very least a free stun. A lot of things to kill here. That's okay though. And we're just gonna keep on creating electrical circuits here whenever we can. Because why not? It's fun. It's just more science. Science to solve our problems. Oops, it's that one. There we go. Gotta get rid of acid spitters, gotta get rid of slashers really quick, tri-jaws as well. Really anything that's just gonna slow us down or make everything more painful for us. There he is, the scout. Scout of the day. 626 kills, no downs this time, although I did nearly go down multiple times. So I could have easily racked up 3 or 4 downs. Again, not a huge deal. You don't really want to be concerning yourself too much with your downs. Just keep trying to progress forward, keep trying to do what you can, and then obviously you can try this with teammates too. There's plenty of random teammates that are more than willing to help. So try that too if that's being a little bit difficult for you. And just like usual, if you only are interested in the weapon overclocks, you don't have to get through all 3 stages. Just try your hardest to get through stage 1 and stage 2. And that's it. Stage 3, if you complete it after that, awesome. If you don't, not a big deal. You're losing out on a cosmetic, which does make it so you're progressing a little bit slower in terms of unlocking everything. But, you know, who cares? You can always obtain the cosmetics later. This build worked out fairly well. Drat Carbine's pretty good at clearing up small things. Crossbow's pretty decent at clearing up big things. Again, you could switch this out for something like the Boomstick. Boomstick's pretty good too. It's not as long range as the crossbow, but does get you a lot of damage up front. And you could also go with the Zukovs, since we're going with like IFGs and electric crack. That would also get you a lot more damage per second too. Hopefully this kind of helped you out. Thanks everybody for watching it. I really do appreciate it. And special thanks to the supporters of this channel. Thank you guys also very much for all of your support. I really do appreciate that. And if you would like to become a supporter, there are links in the description as well as the join button down below over here on YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.